Hello everyone, and welcome to Wednesdays Cooking with Aimee and Bristol. So we are here today after a 2-week hiatus. Glad to be back. Not so glad it's so cool here today, but it is what it is. So welcome. We are getting our Mexican on today. Using a few newer tools that you might not have seen before. Also using something that I absolutely love, and it's the cast iron I've got going on there. So I got a lot of things going on today, a lot of moving parts, but really simple recipe. We are making a one-pot enchilada. Now, I have made enchiladas before. This is a little different recipe. And we are going to be using ground chicken today. Those of you who are vegetarian, vegan, my suggestion would be to either use a meat alternative or use beans, because this is a really simple recipe that can easily change recipes accordingly. We're gonna make some salsa, we're gonna make some red sauce. So we're gonna get started today, and we're going to start with me moving the camera a little bit so you guys can see. We are going to be starting with the red enchilada sauce. So enchilada, oh boy, that's a great angle. Enchilada sauce easily can be bought. I actually prefer this recipe. I find it really simple, it's delicious. I know what goes in it, therefore I love it. And we're gonna start off with 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. So I'm using my mini measure-all cup, which I talk about all the time and how I love it, and how one side can be used with the spout for liquids or anything sticky. We can just push ahead. So that's the mini measure-all cup. And again, I need 3 tablespoons of oil. And I just go right to the measuring there, 3 tablespoons, and now I just pour it into the pan. I'm gonna let that get hot, and I have in my mini glass bowl here, I have some ground cumin, some garlic powder, dried oregano, a little bit of salt. I am going to be adding some cinnamon to it, and then it also asked for a tablespoon of ground chili pepper. Now, some of the people in my house do not enjoy extra hot things, so what I added was Pampered Chef's chili lime, okay? So we've got some really great seasonings. All of them are gluten-free, GMO-free, they are kosher. So if you've never tried any of our seasonings, let me know, I can sample some for you. They are amazing, and so that's what I use today as the alternative. And I've got all the spices going on there. And again, just gonna let that get hot for a little bit. We're gonna add some tomato paste. We're going to add some veggie broth. Oh boy, we just have all kinds of things going on here, don't we? Phones ringing, doorbells going off. Surprised there's no dogs barking. Okay, so we've got the oil there, and it's just about hot enough. And then we're going to, once the sauce is done, I am then going to use the cast iron. Everything is going to be stovetop. We're going to then throw it into the oven, and because our cast irons are lifetime guarantee, I don't need to worry about this sucker at all, whether it's stovetop, oven, barbecue, in the freezer, the fridge. Love this because, again, it is lifetime guarantee, does retain the heat, and those of us who are a little bit iron deficient, we're even getting a kick of iron today with dinner. So not only are we getting our enchiladas, we're getting a little iron, so it's all good for us. Okay, so we've got the oil going on there. And like I said, I'm just gonna add all the seasonings. So like I had said, it's got the chili lime in there, cumin, garlic powder, oregano, some salt. And I'm gonna pour all that into the pan with the oil. And then it's asking for a pinch of cinnamon. Now, the cinnamon kind of just gives it that added sneaky taste. It kind of enhances some of the heat in this. So I'm just going to shake just a tiny bit of our cinnamon. This is Pampered Chef cinnamon. And I'm just gonna let that cook and give it a good stir and let the oil, and already you can smell the cinnamon in here, already. Okay, so we're gonna add all that. Sauce comes quickly. Okay. So we're going to pour the sauce, and we're just going to give that about 1 minute, and we're going to get the tomato paste ready. And I need 2 tablespoons. Yes, I need 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. So I am just going to use the same measure all cup. And let me just get a paper towel there. So I am using our non-stick pan. What I love about the pan is the handle comes off. So these pans can actually go into the oven. They are non-stick and they are completely oven safe. So I don't have to worry if I was cooking something, for example, and wanted to keep it warm. I could toss it in the oven. I just take the handle off. They are dishwasher safe as well. Also lifetime guaranteed. Love it. Okay, so I need 2 tablespoons of the tomato paste, which I'm just going to add to the pan. Hope everybody's Wednesday is going well. It's a little chilly here in Ontario, Toronto, not to my liking. A week ago, I was loving the heat in the south, and today I am wearing a sweater, knowing tonight for my walk, I think I'm gonna need mitts and a jacket. Crazy. So I've got the tomato paste going on in there with the seasonings and a little bit of oil. I then need 2 cups of veggie broth. So I'm just gonna use the Campbell's today. I have it, therefore I'm gonna use it. Normally I make my own veggie broth, but this was here. So again, using my measure all cups, I'm gonna fill that right up to 2 cups. Add that and stirring it. And I'm just gonna wanna make sure that the lumps from the paste are out of this completely. Smells amazing, and again, I can still smell the hint of the cinnamon in here. And this is the red enchilada sauce that we're going to use for the top of our enchiladas. Okay? And we now need the flour. So I'm going to switch the spoons, and I need 2 tablespoons. Oh my goodness, where am I? 3 tablespoons of flour. Okay, so I'm going to add the tablespoons of flour right to the liquid mixture. And now I'm going to whisk a little bit. Now, because of this pan being non-stick and stainless steel, where is my regular whisk? There's 2 different whisks that I can use. You know, I'm thankful when people put the into the dishwasher, but I'm not so thankful when they don't put the stuff back where it goes. So, well, we are going to use the little mini whisk because I can't find my regular whisk right now. Now again, because this is non-stick and you wouldn't think you'd be able to use metal on the bottom, I'm here to let you know you absolutely can. It will not take the finish off your pans. And something like this, once the lumps are out, I can even use the sauce whisk, and I can keep that in a nice stir. So this needs to thicken just a bit, and we're gonna leave that on the stove top for now. And while that's going on, we're gonna start the regular meat portion, and we're gonna leave that. So we're raising the heat, we've got the heat set, checking that for the next 5 to 7 minutes. And then we can add a little apple cider vinegar to it. And again, I'm just leaving all my ingredients over here because it's that simple. Okay, so I've got the 12-inch cast iron. Okay, 12-inch cast iron skillet. I'm just gonna add a tiny bit of olive oil to the bottom of the pan, just because this one doesn't look like it was oiled well enough. And I'm gonna add my ground chicken right to the pan. And I've got about 1.5 pounds of ground chicken. And we're gonna let that brown. I'm gonna use the same spoon because it doesn't matter. And the skillet is going to get hot quite quickly, and that's okay. We want that meat to cook. While that's going on, gotta get the onion going because we're gonna add an onion to this as well. This can all be moved out, and now we can see you. I'm going to use one of my flexible cutting mats. And I have one of my amazing knives this is the Everyday Knife. These are a lifetime guarantee, absolutely amazing. Regular white onion. If you don't have a white onion in the house, use a Vidalia, use any sweet onion, whatever you got. Even a red onion would be fine. Again, it's just to chop up, and we're gonna add it to our mixture of our meat. So while that's browning, toss that green bin. All right, now, I normally, right now, would use my manual food processor. And on a normal day, I absolutely would go, that's my favorite go-to of all time. But you've got to see here, I've got some things going on here, because we're going to be making a salsa. And I want to make the salsa in my manual food processor. And I believe, yes, the salsa doesn't call for an onion, so I'm actually going to be using my food chopper. It gives me the opportunity to show you guys once again, with Pampered Chef, how many amazing tools we have. And even though you don't have all of them, you don't need to use all of them. If you've got some and not others, maybe you're creating a wish list, you have the opportunity to see why I love certain tools more than others. Now, the food chopper comes off. I can chop something right in here and protect it as a little bowl, or something like this, where I can just chop it right on the cutting board, and then I can just chop all of this and toss it right in. Dishwasher safe. The food chopper is really great for nuts and any of those harder veggies or fruits that you might need to chop. Go. It's also great if you're need to get your aggressions out. It's amazing for that. All right, so we've got our onion chopped. You saw how fast it is. And when it comes time to put it in the dishwasher, all I need to do is take this off, take the center off, and the blades are appearing here, and super easy to clean. Now, if you don't want to toss it in the dishwasher, again, super easy to clean, but please be careful of that blade. These blades are super sharp. Okay? So what's great about my flexible cutting mat is now I can just add the onion right to the pan. I don't need to worry about dirtying anything else. And I can reuse my mat, and we're good to go. So I've got the onion, the ground chicken happening here in the pan. And like I said, with the cast iron, oh, that's a strong onion. This is why I love my manual food processor. I normally don't cry with onions with the manual food processor. What's great about the cast iron is the versatility of it, and my favorite part is the fact that it is lifetime guarantee. And that to me is a plus. If you're investing in beautiful pieces and beautiful kitchenware, you want to make sure that it stands the test of time. Anything that's sustainable, I am all for anything that's sustainable anymore. I do not want to bring anything into the house anymore that's not sustainable. All right, while I cry here, hold please. Whew. Again, another pro reason why I love my manual food processor. And again, the reason we didn't use it is I want it clean for the salsa, which I easily could have rinsed it out, but I love to show you guys different tools, different ways that we can do anything with the different tools. Okay, so we've got the meat going on here. All right. We are going to start the salsa while the meat's cooking. And I'm just gonna open my manual food processor. So it is stored this way. Those of you who have never seen it, the lid is the only thing that cannot go into the dishwasher. It's spring loaded, and therefore you don't want to put this in the dishwasher. All you have to do is run water over the bottom, wipe it dry, super easy to have. The bowl and the blade themselves are dishwasher safe, and it also is non-slip grip, which means while we are pressing along, it's not going to slip on your counter. And if you've got little hands in your kitchen, this is an amazing tool to have them help you in the kitchen. Okay, so let me just check this meat. And looks good. Browning quite nicely. Just an FYI, we've got a few cast iron pieces. We have a glazed set, and we have this regular set. And the glazed set are beautiful for table to, right from oven to table, because of the beauty of them. They are gorgeous, natural stone color. So we'll go with any of your other pieces that you might have for your kitchen. That's what I love about it. Okay, and so while we're doing this, we're gonna get the salsa ready. And it's asking for 1 to 2 jalapenos. You can see that this is quite a big jalapeno. So I am just gonna take some of the seeds out, because again, there are a few people in my house who are not total fans of heat. So I've taken some of the seeds out, and I'm just gonna chop them a little bit and add this to the bowl of the manual food processor. Chop that along. So you can see how fast that was, how easy that was. Obviously, the sharper the blade, the better. And just another FYI, if you do have a manual food processor and you're finding that your food's not getting mixed up as well as you want, it could be that you need to replace your blade. And these blades are about $15. They're not super duper expensive at all. And it's one of those things that you might actually forget that you need to replace every once in a while, or depending on how often you use it. So I'm just gonna put about 1/4 cup of salt. Gonna add a little bit of pepper, just for taste. We'll mix up the chicken and turn that down. All right, so the chicken is almost completely browned. And because it's a ground chicken, it's a lower fat meal. Again, if you are vegetarian, pescatarian, this is a great meat alternative dish. This is a beautiful dish for beans. When I do make this for Lauren, my vegan daughter, we normally do beans for hers. The exact same, everything with the exception of her cheese. This is, again, a really simple recipe that you can make any alternatives for. Okay, almost done there. All right, we've got to add some cilantro, which, as you know, isn't going to happen at my house. So I am using parsley. I've cleaned some parsley. And again, I'm just going to, hang on, move some of those seeds. And I'm just going to add some of the parsley to the manual food processor. So it's asking for, it says a cup. So to your discretion, how much you want to use. And I'm just going to use probably about 3/4 of a cup. And again, I'm just going to keep adding. Just keep adding to that. And we need 2 cups of pineapple and a lime completely juiced. Okay, so there's the cilantro and the jalapeno. We'll add the lime. So obviously we know there's no cilantro in the salsa, my salsa. That is just a regular parsley. I'm going to put my my lime in. Now, the citrus press, remember, put your limes upside down and squeeze. Okay, upside down gets all of the juice completely out of your lime. It turns your lime inside out, and you will not waste any of your juice. You can see there, completely easy. This as well is dishwasher safe. I use it for lemons, limes, and also for mandarin oranges. So I just simply wipe it clean and toss it in the sink with some warm water. Really easy to use. I'm going to add some pineapple. We need to add, it says about 2 cups. I cut the pineapple up last night, really juicy. And I've got that stored in one of our Pampered Chef glass containers, dishwasher safe as well. And now I'm just going to chop everything right up. And this simple sweet salsa is going to be great on top of our enchiladas tonight. So you can see there how fast and easy that was. Really, really simple. It's going to be nice and refreshing on top. And some of the pineapple's a little chunky. And as we know, the longer salsa sits, the better it tastes. So this afternoon, while it's just sitting there, good to go, I can take the centerpiece right out and I can toss that in the fridge because my manual food processor also has a lid, which must be in a different container. Again, those people who unload my dishwasher are not complaining. Now I could just, it has a lid, and I could just toss that into the fridge and it's good to go. Okay, so our chicken is done. I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of oregano. So I've got some crushed oregano that I'm going to be using. Okay, so I'm just using 1 teaspoon. Just going to put that right onto the meat. I need a teaspoon, I believe, of cumin. Yes, I need a teaspoon of cumin. Again, I'm just tossing that right on. Now keep in mind, these are similar ingredients to what we used for the enchilada sauce. And so the flavors are very similar. Again, if you've got somebody in your house who doesn't like heat, this is where you can make the adjustments accordingly. You like more heat, turn it up, add an extra jalapeno, add some more chili powder, absolutely. Any of those we need to add 2.5 cups of the enchilada sauce to our chicken. Okay, so we've added the cumin, we've added the ground oregano, and just a hint of salt. And now I'm going to add 2.5 cups of the enchilada sauce. Sorry, 2 cups. Okay, so we're going to take 2 cups. So you can see there the enchilada sauce is nice and thick now. Just going to stir that up along the sides. There we go. And I'm going to use my measure all cup again. And 2 cups right into the chicken. Now, if you do make this enchilada sauce, and say you double the recipe, this sauce is good for up to 14 days in your fridge. Really easy to care for, delicious. So you can see there, let me move this enchilada sauce so you guys can see. It smells amazing. You can smell the, again, I still can smell that hint of cinnamon. The cinnamon really adds to this recipe. This is one of my favorite red enchilada sauces ever. I will be posting this recipe over on VI Peeps. I know it's been kind of quiet over there for the last couple weeks because I've been gone. And if you can believe it, for like 10 days, the only thing I cooked was breakfast, and it was like a simple breakfast. So it was so nice to actually get back. So nice to go to restaurants, but so nice again to just come home and cook your own. Love those glass storage containers. Angela loves, we're talking about these glass containers. She actually is one of the first customers to ever have used them. I hadn't even used them, and she was telling me how great they were. Not kidding, and they're 1-year guarantee. So lids, containers, all of them. There's no way that you can go buy any brand, say a Walmart or anything, and you break one or something happens. Walmart's not going to care that you do that. All of our products are guaranteed for at least 1 year, and that's what I love, that I will totally help you in whatever capacity it is that you might have. One of your products might not be working to its full capacity, that's for sure. And another thing, did you know that if you do not like one of your products, you have up to 30 days to return it, no questions asked. You also have up to 1 year to return a product. All you simply need to do is return it. Now, I personally want you to love all your products, and if you don't love all your products, I'm going to return it, because I will not sell you something I don't think you need. I will not sell you something that I don't personally love. So if for whatever reason you've got a product sitting in your cupboard and you're just not using it and you're just not loving it, please let me know, because I want you to love your products as much as I love our products. Okay, so we've got the chicken going on there. I am going to shut this down because we are going to add our tortillas to the top of this. So this is a bake versus a regular enchilada. And again, why I use my cast iron. So I am simply just using a flour tortilla. This is what I have in the house. These are actually leftover from last week's NASCAR race, and I want to get rid of them. So I am simply using the smaller of the tortillas. Looks like I might be shy of 1. I do have large ones as well. Corn tortillas work really great as well, gives it just that extra flavor. And I'm going to cut just so that I've got every last bit of my circumference here on my cast iron completely covered. And again, this is going to go into a 400-degree oven. We're going to put some cheese and some more enchilada sauce on it. Then we're going to top this afterwards with our delicious pineapple salsa, maybe some avocado, and maybe some Greek yogurt or some sour cream. So we've got our chicken on the bottom. I've got a tiny bit left of our enchilada sauce, which I'm just going to put along the top. and it's just for one extra kick of flavor. Just gonna spread all of that around. And again, if you have a favorite enchilada sauce that you love, please don't hesitate to use that. And this recipe as well, and I will note, and I'm gonna show you. So this recipe, and I will put it in the recipe, I haven't used it, it calls for a chipotle pepper. Another alternative would be a spicy red pepper. You would have added those to your chicken before you would have put your tortillas on top. Again, because I've got somebody here who does not like heat at all, I'm trying to dial it back a tiny bit. The flavor is going to be there. We're getting a little bit of heat from the jalapeno. We're getting a little bit of heat from the cayenne that's going on in there. But if you really do enjoy like a good heat, a beautiful heat, my suggestion would be to add the peppers and or the tomatoes, the spicy tomatoes, and all it calls for is 2 tablespoons. It's not a total undone deal if you like heat but don't totally love heat. It's really great for that. But because of the non-fan here, I wanted to be very cognizant of that because I did add some heat already. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to top it with some cheese. Then I'm going to toss it into a 400-degree oven, and dinner is done. And on a day like today, when it's not so great out, and you know, we all here in Ontario, we were barbecuing this weekend. We were doing all the gardening and getting our yard stuff done. Today feels like a day where we just want to hunker down again. So this cheese that on top, they're calling for Mexican cheese. I do not believe in buying cheese. I just don't like the extra stuff that's in your cheese. I do use my graters all of the time. We have 3 different style graters. This is one of the basic graters. It just does a basic shredding of cheese. So what I'm going to do is I've got some Monterey Jack. I've got some regular cheddar. Please note that our graters do come with a safety, and God knows, all of you who do know me well know I should probably be using the grater or the safety, but here we are. So I'm just going to mix the Monterey Jack and the cheddar together, and I'm just going to toss it on top. And like I said, dinner is done. All now I have to do is top with a little bit of salsa and toss with a little bit of avocado and maybe some sour cream or Greek yogurt, and that's it. It is what is for dinner. So I'm just going to mix some of this Monterey and the cheddar together, creating my own Mexican style cheese, and I'm just going to sprinkle this on top. Depending on how much cheese you like, we're a kind of cheesy family, so cheese is a great thing at our house. So guys, this is the enchiladas. It is an easy bake in the oven, 400 degrees now for the next 10 minutes because everything is cooked. Great alternative where you could be using a meat alternative or beans. Makes beautiful leftovers, any salsa that you want. It is what's for dinner on a kind of coolish spring Wednesday. I'm so glad you're here. Hop on over to VI Peeps. I will be putting this recipe on. You guys will love this recipe. It is simple, it is easy, and anyone can make it. Again, great alternative for those of you who might be vegan or pescatarian. It's amazing. So thanks all for being here. Glad to be back on this Wednesday.